Hello and welcome to this channel. I am Dr. Anshu coming back with the Hindu editorial analysis. So today we are going to cover the last 4 days of current affair, and further I am not going to upload it because already the prelims are almost ahead. Less than 10 days are left. So already the paper has been set. So and I am covering already the till the 11th May I have uploaded it. After the 12th May to 15th I am covering the 4 days of series. Already the all important editorials and fact based are already added in, so video might be longer, so you just have a time to go through the datas and all the important one, because UPSC is unpredictable, so we don't know if they uses the data anything important. So just have a, and after the further uses are elaborated in the after the current affairs, that is because the newspaper is continuation series, so further some informations are added, so maybe you get a connection through it and able to solve the papers. And in today's video I have already I am adding the prelim specific questions. Adding editorial also can be used for a mains purpose, so you can watch this video after your prelims exam also. And for a prelim series you can just have go through once time. So let's start without wasting the times, and it's a high time, so I'm just giving the recap and not wasting so much time. So the thought of day is also started with the best of luck, because yeah, it's a 1 year of continuous hard work, you all guys are doing it, and I'm also involved, but I think it's not that 1 year will matter, but that 3 hours and last these 10 and 20 days matters a lot, continuing adding to that 1 year series. So let's start with the recap what we are going to cover, so that you get the idea that what we are going to cover, that important ones, and so that you can choose and just add read that points that is important for prelim specific. So first page is covering about with the 12th May current affair, where the first front page is the heavy losses in the Pak military, says the DGMO, and displaced people to return home as a gun falls silent along the LOC in Jammu and Kashmir. So next is the editorial covering why India's must have a caste census, right? Some data you can get there. A fundamental reset to drive the manufacturing growth and right to know. Fourth is covering about the data through the government data about the under count of pandemic deaths and the world longest inflorescence found in forest of Andaman, so it can be prelim specific. So fifth is about how is Kerala handling the waste products. Sixth is covering the next editorial covering the 13th May, that India won't bend to Pakistan nuclear blackmail, and India's Pak agreed to take a step to reduce the troops on border. Seventh is covering the same, just retirement of Virat Kohli, and NCW slams trolling of Vikram Mishri and seeks restraint, and US China agreed to temporarily roll back to the most tariff for talks. Eighth is covering the editorial about the India's rising e-waste, the need to recast its management. Ninth is covering the when the water standards don't hold the water, and India engaged with the China on the germanium export restrictions, say embassy. 10th is covering about the next news about the India's reasserts the Kashmir to stand after a Trump poser, and the Prime Minister visiting Adampur Air Base lost the troop for conducting Operation Sindhu. Covering the next editorial, that it all are the important editorials that you just go through after the prelims exam for the writing purposes, because after that just the mains exams are only you get the 3 to 4 months, less than 2 and 3 months, sorry, less than 2 months. It was in August 21 August. So just go through my videos, it will definitely help you a lot. Ecology is a world permanent economy. 13 is about the declaration of 10th and 12th result and the debt that spotlight the irrigation problems. 14th is covering that right to repair movement in India, and 15th is about the Hindu editorial covering the BSF constable detained Pakistani rangers released. 16th is covering about the 21-day anti-Naxal dislocated, and minister faces FIR over the colonial Sophia remarks, and Sikkim celebrates the 50 years of statehood with the race to exotic butterflies. So it can be prelim specific, so I have added it. 7th is about the road safety measures, and indigenous weapon system is highly effective. 18th is covering about the Operation Sindoor, a reshaping of confederation, and 19th is covering how did the developed genome edited rice. 20th is covering about the birth rates in the Delhi, Kerala and Tamil Nadu decline. So just have a go through the about the birth rates declining, where it is rising, it is not like decline. So these all are we are going to cover today, covered in 20 slides. So let's starting with the front page. So the front page is covering with the heavy losses inflicted on Pak military, says DGMO. So there is a drawing in a fighter jets featuring a latest technologies and damage key. In this we'll cover also about the which aircrafts used here in the further news this in a detailed way. So at least 30 to 40 Pakistani military personnel was killed, and the DGMO is Director General of Military Operation Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai said on Sunday. So these are territory like there is exercises restraint on actions that has focused measure and threatened to the sovereign territorial integrity. So Air Marshal A.K. Bharti said it definitely droned up few Pakistanis and refused to hazard the guess or number. Next is the displaced peoples to return home as gun falls silent along the LOC. After the despite of the ceasefire, so there is continuation of gun falls, and the border villages Sunday sounded hopeful for returning to their homes. An official after the border of the Kumpwara and Baramulla, Kashmir Valley, Poonch, Rajouri, these are the important areas where this. Just wait a minute. Is it still not okay? I have to select the pen. Okay, that's why. So the territorial integrity and the A.K. Bharti said that. So sorry, yes, just the flow was broken. So normalcy returned to the Punjab border and forces keep to watch. The district bordering the Pakistan on Sunday after 4 days of intense military conflict between India and Pakistan. Educational institution across the state will reopen on Monday. Next is covering about why the India must get to the caste census right. So the counting caste is not a capitulation to identify the politics. So after the post-independence, India attempted to abolish the caste while simultaneously pursuing a social injustice, a textbook example for a policy schizophrenia, are two goals for fundamentally incompatible. So what are the consequences measures that requires a precise disintegrated caste data? So in 1955 essay, The Thoughts on Linguistic State, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar denounced the omission of a caste tables from 1951 census. So it is a petty intelligence like the policy making tracking disparities over time. So what is the legal and administrative necessity? So there is a scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, but the excluded OBC, even though all the three groups. So writer here describes about the castes of OBC caste corner that 25% of all public jobs, education seat reserved for OBCs, and the OBC castes secure 97% of benefits. So there is a 38% of OBC caste receive only 3% of benefit. Another 37% get nothing at all. So the caste enumeration is also an administrative imperative to prevent the elite capture, to enable the rational. So the learning from failure and successes is, in 2010 the parliament unanimously resolved the caste in 2011 census. So 1931 census recorded its 4147 castes excluding the depressed classes. Anthropological Survey of India has identified 1625 castes, and the alliance to government was difficult. So what went wrong? First is that it's about the SEC 2011 was not conducted under the Census Act 1948, and question about the caste created the confusion. So in the contrast, the Bihar caste survey enumerated the vetted list of 214 castes. So it's 214 caste is specific to state. 215th option is 215th options for the other castes, the survey. So the first legal backing is the amend the situations, amend the castes 1942 to explicitly mandate the caste enumeration. Second is the right institution and trust, and the third is the standardized questionnaire. Fourth is the state specific state list, and fifth is the enumerator training. So just go through the editorial once time. Maybe it is not clear, so I reciprocate the important things. So moving ahead, next is about the fundamental reset to drive the manufacturing growth. So writer here is a former IS officer and currently the professor of National Institute of Advanced Studies. So he was talking about the global manufacturing and trade is shifting rapidly toward innovation driven. Is a medium, high and high tech products. So it's about the advanced research and development, technological sophistications and high skills complex network of supply chains. So India has a challenges at hand, realizing the critically manufacturing in the economy. The country has been consistent efforts since the economy reforms in 1991, together with making the consistent flagship programs such as National Manufacturing Corporation. It's NMCP. It's made in launched in 2005 and has makeup in India 2014. So the close examination of basic indicators such as per capita. So what we highlighting, the important one is that what is the per capita. Second is about the manufacturing productivity, provide a useful pointer. For India, the per capita values is $0.32, K is to 1000, productivity stand for 8.9K and same figure as same respectively the world average, which are significantly. So the new approaches are to technical education is like the manufacturing has leveraged the skill development programs, and educational institution have played a important role. So response is emerging needs like institute to change the advanced innovation, and it should also begin with the entrance examination. There is a need to move beyond the notion of a tough entrance examinations. It should be encouraged to interest in fundamental knowledge, creativity, problem solving. So during the graduation, over reliance of heavy academic inputs, a culture notes focus on 10-point grade, take up the most time and energy of students. So should also be spent on creative problem solving. So what is the build core in engineering? Semiconductor, IT and artificial intelligence are of strategic importance. So there is a needed to top of engineering system. Let us not get bogged through the AI and IT. We need to strong engineering skills in a core stream such as civil, mechanical, automobile production, metallurgy. So there is a country that engineering units build equipments, masonry first. So ecosystem for innovation is like the Silicon Valley in US is attributed for its innovation ecosystem marked and high skilled manpower, R&D infrastructure. State specific manufacturing is also park should be set up, so for the art facilities to plug and play a quick way to set up new units. So just concluding this article here about the transforming the manufacturing, the strategies should include the first developing industrial infrastructure and call for raising R&D expenditure from current 0.65% to the 2% beside expenditure 1% of GDP. So that's for this editorial. Moving to the next is about right to know. So there is a India High Court must be more sensitive to fundamental rights. The Supreme Court India order of May 9 said setting the Delhi Court order directing the Wikimedia Foundation to take down the Wikipedia Internet Cyclopedia is not notable for several reasons. So there is a defamation cases and discussion of forum which is some user commented adversely on single judges and sub judice before a court. So ANI Wikipedia pages, basically I've already highlighted the important points. So if it is not clearly visible, so just go through the important points that are already highlighted. You get the important data and facts that is important. So the article 19(1)(a) and 21 casting the case against Foundation of Light that may have eluded the High Court. ANI continues to be the High Court may consider applying the values right to know the question to Foundation intermediate, so information technology. So moving to the next, it's about the government data confirms a massive undercount for pandemic death. So this is a chart one through which we will analysis of excess death and increase the death tally over the expected numbers of based on previous year. The reported COVID-19 deaths and after the Delta variants of SARS-CoV-2 into the excess deaths were 44 times. So here the chart one shows here the top 10 states with the highest multiple excess death over reported death in 21, and the chart 2 shows here. Chart 2 shows that the excess multiple deaths about the 22 are not available as significant. So Gujarat, MP, UP. So highest is the Gujarat that covers the 44.2. This is chart 3. Chart 3 shows of the top 10 states with the highest multiple and possible undercounts and excess deaths. Excess deaths in COVID-19 deaths and fact which are undercounted by factor 44 in Gujarat. And chart 2 shows that India's official COVID-19 death count published by the state government in 2021 compared to the excess deaths calculated. And chart 4 shows about already the chart 3 and 4 shows the same thing, like the top 10 states with highest multiple and what is the death over there, that factor 44 in Gujarat, highest undercount in the country, and that is for 2.5 and lakh and excess. So UP official COVID-19 tally for year was only 14 to 51 deaths, and Gujarat, Maharashtra over 2 lakh COVID deaths in 2021. So next is the maybe can be important, so I added it, like the world longest banana infructans found in the forest of Andamans. So the world longest banana infructans, it's a bunch that is found in the forest of Andamans. It is about 4.2 meter, or generally a normal infructans consists 1 meter, but it is 4.2. So it created a record in the Andaman that is found there, and the details of discovery were published in international peer-reviewed science journal Botany. So it's a species of a wild banana, Musa india that was first recorded from the remote tropical forest near Krishna Nala Reserve Forest on Andaman Nicobar. So can be important at where it is situated. So it is mentioned in a science journal in 2014, and initially when the species of Musa indamana species was discovered, Little Andaman Islands, Lalji Singh. So here it is important, just highlighted the important one. Mentioned in Science Journal in 2014, and discovered in Little Andaman Island by Lal G. Singh, the head of the Regional Centre of Botanical Survey of India in Andaman Nicobar. So the infructans of a specimen were about 3 meter long. Usually the infructans, already the mention here, it is a fruit branch leucus axis of cultivation species. The meaning is already highlighted in this newspaper. So generally it is 1 meter long, so I have already said about it. It's Campbell, and the species of wild banana. So this can be important as the environment questions can be asked about the species that are famous, that are important in the news, like the Campbell Bay in the Nicobar group of islands. The infructans canal record was longer than specimen of another. And next is also one display about talking about the museum across country. In the India's museum in Kolkata, where 4.2 meter long specimen display in industrial section of Botany Survey. So same thing is mentioned here, and it is a part of a where it is a part. It is a part of a XC2. And what is the IUCN status is, can be asked. It is critically endangered, and it is conservation of. So it is found in Acharya Jagdish Chandra Bose Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah Botanical Garden of Andaman Nicobar Regional Center. So this specific article consists of many important points. So I added it. So next is that how is Kerala handling its best product? So here the latest campaign is Viruthi, the meaning of cleanliness of. I'm just highlighting the important one. What is Viruthi? Viruthi is, I don't know why I'm not able to write it. It's a cleanness of body. Okay. So it's a Minister of Malayalam and film stars, school children, local self-government representing the bureaucrats and sanitation workers. The 5 days conclave about the Viruti 2025, the Clean Kerala conclave. This is organizing there. So it's about where the 25,000 people will participate, and by local self-government minister state had launched the formidable success in waste collection from the house. From the 75% was houses just have been reached for just 43% here till the back. So why was this campaign necessary? So state of Kerala have achieved a certain standard of hygiene, and in early days the waste generated from consumption is mostly organic, could be put to use in the backyard of the same houses. So the post-liberalization maternity production consumption has changed significantly, and there is a 10% consumer behavior also changed exponentially. So a senior bureaucrat is a part of a Kerala solid waste management project, and that during the UPSC interview, foremost issue has been said that I wanted to resolve being the head trustee and waste management. So what is being done here? The spirit of personal hygiene also means spaces at high decibel. The campaign was titled is Malnia. I don't know what today has happened. I'm not able to write it. So, but I'm just respecting it. What is it? The campaign title is Malnia Muktam Nava Kerala, Waste Free Kerala, in their own language, in the stakeholder agencies. So the Kerala government has a larger civil society help in unlocking it. So how it is different from Swachh Bharat Mission SBM 1 2.0. So it's a nodes consisting SBM follows a framework where the people decide to how many toilets should be built, how many sewage treatment plants should be constructed, and how many waste treatment plant should be sectioned there. So these are it is whether it is centralized or decentralized, which solution is better. So moving from the binary centralized form of governance, managing waste, the conclave emphasizes lesson learned from the both success and failures. And centralized solution, there are 2 stories where centralized solution were great success. For example, Governor municipality waste treatment and mismanagement of centralized system. So what is lies here is, as of now there's a visible changes also. Building collective important one. So these just go through one time. It is visible, it is not like shady that you can't just go through one time this article. So moving to the next it's a 13th main editorial. So here we will cover with the front page about the India's won't bend back to the Pak nuclear blackmail. So Operation Sindoor was Operation Sindoor now India's established policy in a fight against terrorism, making it a decisive shift in India's strategic approach to stand a new normal counterterrorism measures. So it's there will be a zero tolerance. So after the operation got under way on May 7, he added that India will not tolerate any nuclear blackmail while attacking a terror sponsor Pakistan. So the Pakistan should be seen only as a pause, and Pakistan action will be next few days will be evaluated for any other further actions. And talk and terror cannot go together. So trade cannot go together, and water and blood referring to the suspension of Indus Water Treaty cannot go together. So he said during the television, pointedly ignored the US President Donald Trump's statement that his administration had helped halt the conflict. Next is that India's Pak agreed to take steps to reduce the troops on border. So army said that it is agreed that both sides would consider immediate measures to ensure the troop reductions. So the operation during the talks between the Director General of Military Operations and India and Pakistan Mondays was a scheme was scheduled. So DGM on Saturday stopped all the firing, and activity will came into effect. So earlier it's a Air Marshal A.K. Bharti Director and Air Operations DGO underscore did damage. So moving to the next is about that the retirement offered from the Test cricket. Signing Joel is Virat Kohli, one of the modern day greats in a classical format, decided to call its day's glittering moment for illustration career 9020. So just go through this. Next is about the ancillary slams to trolling of Vikram Misri. and seek restraint. So National Commission for Women on the Monday condemned online trolling of Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri and his family after he announced the reach on the halting the military actions. The phone number of Misri daughter was grossly irresponsible act and serious breaches of privacy that endanger her safety. So terming such personal attacks unacceptable, morally indefensible. Next is US and China agreed to temporarily roll back all the most tariff talks. Slash on tariff, yeah, China's export to US tariff. So it's a more of a recent tariff and called for 90-day truce to their trade war to allow more talks solving their trade disputes. The Geneva and the news conference in Geneva with the Treasury Secretary. So their US agreed to drop its 145% tariff, 115% points to 30%, while China agreed to lower its US same amount. Moving to the next editorial is covering about the India's rising e-waste need to recast its management. So the byproduct. Writer is talking about the journey toward the Viksit Bharat is being with the increasing reliance on electronic devices from smartphones. How it is creating a e-waste management. There should be a proper e-waste management. So about the growing dependence on electronic devices, a byproduct electronic waste. China's. So what are the top countries that have are top countries that producing a lot of e-waste management. So first one is the China. The first one is China. Second is US, Japan, Germany. India confronts a formidable challenge in managing e-waste. India's e-waste volume soars by 151.3% in 6 years, in 2017 to 18, and there is a 70 to 78 400 metric tons in 2024. So there is an annual increase in 1,69,203 metric tons. So extended producer responsibility EPR mandates the producer, importer and brand owners to manage the waste from their product. So can be asked who is managing this. So what is the impact of proper e-waste management? Like it is extended beyond environmental degradation. India loses more than $10 billion annually due to water pollution from disposable, pollution caused by lead fumes, open coal, burning plastic incineration, soil pollution, beyond the environmental impact. So importance of stable pricing is that waste management introduces a floor price certificate, EPR certificates, a game changer of India waste management, and stable pricing incentive formal recyclable sectors such as the plastic waste drive the waste investment in infrastructure. So pivot carries in the minor impact of floor EPR is cost outweighs it. So just go through this tutorial, can be important, and just read after the prelims exams. For main specific data is already added very beautifully presented by the writer. Moving to the next is about when the water standard don't hold the water. Writer is telling about how much water should each person receive a day. So India's answer by science of necessity, arbitrary metric about the per capita supply standard prescribed in liter per capita LPCD, the human right guarantees to access to safe to clean water. The benchmark not only detect how much water citizens are entitled to demand for daily investment, urban water infrastructure. So defining per capita standard is like population figure used to compute the domestic water demand as a city, and shortage of water shortage consumption. The per capita standard is also used in assess future for investment required. So 240 LPCD for domestic losses. Why it is described in LPCD? Because it is a unit. An arbitrary metric, the per capita water supply standard is prescribed in liter per capita per day, LPCD. So that's why it is mentioning 240 LPCD per person consumed here. So the per capita standard prescribed by multiple agencies including Bureau of Indian Standards, Central Health Environment, CPHO, a technical wing union ministry, additionally Mumbai and Delhi, and for example CPHO prescribed 150 LPC mega cities under the Jal Jeevan Mission for rural, And Swachh Bharat mission push for universal access to individuals. So no monitoring is like prescribed standards not monitored during the service delivery to ensure the water supply according to the design standards for doorstep all citizen. Although the service levels benchmarks used by MOHO to assess the performance of municipal water supply. So moving to the next is India engaged with the China on germanium export to restrictions, same basic. So the restriction on germanium, it's a critical mineral that is used. So just go through the what is the rare critical metals, critical earth metals. It is important. So the germanium can be asked at which critical metal is in the news. So it's used for basically it is used for manufacturing of semiconductors like fiber optics cables. So it is important for science and technology. So I added it. It's come half over the annual outcomes and from China and may have caused some of the restriction in electronic. So China player regarding the China export has restrictions and germanium is listed as a RE category, included 70 heavy metals that China has a practical monopoly in refining. So germanium, gallium exports to United States were largely banned in November and placed under export licensing. So importers of embassy in Beijing and representation of Chinese official on issue. So germanium oxide is used in a core of preform. Fiber optics enable industry exports. Cylinder glass used to draw optical fibers, specialized furnaces. So that's for all. So next is moving to the 14th May about the Hindu editorial where we will cover about the front page. That India reasserted the Kashmir stand after the Trump poser. So it's India reviewed its Trump statement against the backdrop of Operation Sindhu. The understanding between the India and Pakistan. The first is that US broke the India's Pakistan ceasefire. It's a Trump review statements. Averted the nuclear conflict, threatened to stop the trade, will mediate on Kashmir, hyphenated India and Pakistan, India and Pakistan to talk at a neutral venue. What is the MEA response to regarding it? Like agreement directly via DGMOs. So it was requested by Pak due to the ineffective IFS strikes, military actions in unconventional domain only, no discussion on a trade with the US during Operation Sindhu. Talk with bilateral and topic will be POK returns. No hyphenations. International community stand on terrorism. No such discussion. So it is basically it is a contradiction from a MEA response that there is no such type of talks that was claiming by Donald Trump about the statements that he marked about India's Pakistan, about the ceasefire that happens due to the Donald Trump. So nothing like that. They are just explaining all the things that is about the MEA response. So External Minister of Affairs Ranjit Jaiswal said the only subject to Pakistan occupied Kashmir has India-US trade did not figure in the telephone conversation. So it is US held against the backdrop of Operation Sindhu, which targeted 9 terror locations in Pakistan POK में. So these are all the incidents that cover and the questions may be asked. So it is already news. So it is not so it is less than it is covered from the 7th May. So questions can be asked about the missiles which missiles are used here. So we just have to go through that part also. Next is the Prime Minister visit Adampur Air Base lost for troops. So on Tuesday, Adampur Air Base in Punjab, Operation Sindhu has drawn a clear Lakshman Rekha for Pakistan regard with sponsorship terror, and there is a air. So here it is mentioning about Pakistan that uses. The Pakistan had recently claimed to have destroyed not only the air base but also the S-400 air defense. S-400 air defenses system stationed here. So with the S-400 missile air launcher as a backdrop, Mr. Modi addressed Pakistan saying not only have you failed to harm Indian military army installation, but you also annihilated it if terrorism continue from your soil. So it is achievable, it is achieve unprecedented, unimaginable in 27-minute speeches. So echoed the message. Next is moving to a total about India's in education without the employment. So this editorial covering about the writer here is talking at how in India there is education. There are a lot of people that are educated, highly educated, but still unemployed. Like education without employment, highlighting about that it is claimed that education has been freed from shackles of previous government, utter tinkering labs, coding rights from middle school, recruitment of scheduled castes and girl students, but primarily it stated at NEP 2020 enable educational renaissance. So it is all these utterances for the seminal point that is forgotten educational system remain clueless about the shape shifting marketplace and namely the employability of a graduate as a workforce. So after education has a many purposes. It enables the innovates and elevates, and as Vivekanand said, education empowers to ones to stand one own feet. So after a 75 year of foolishly gambling excellence over for equity, India has squandered the both. Young people are unable to find meaningful employment that is it's commensurate with any training that may have created. Degrees they have not worth the paper on which they are printed. Still lot of the degrees but not able to get the job. The presently lawfully elected government responsibility cleans the audience tables, never minded NEP 2000, the fourth such document that's supposed to be Radhakrishna Commission, 1948 Kothari Commission, 1966 Officers Commission, 1985. So a high rate of education unemployment. Like in 25, India's overall graduate employment rate is 42.6%. So it's 42.6%, or 2.6%, which is practically same as 44.3%, stand 11.72% multiple entries. So today shows that education in India is actually disempowering the students. And NEP's retreat to the Anavar Purse model of 20 that USA without the financial cushioning, the NEP is outdated, financially unviable in the Indias of 25. Surface paid to new ideas such as India Knowledge System IKS, mother tongue learning, changing history and textbooks, and flexible curriculum, and a complete absence of methodology. A good university seamlessly integrates the breadth with depth. It claimed that there has been remarkable improvement in past, and that 11 Indian universities rank in top QS World University, clearly echoing the selective narrative of Nausea, Curandolo, and also generous. So a missing transparency project is like New Millennium projects of imprint impacting research innovations. Indian Global Innovation Index GI represent the innovation capabilities of India. Out of rank 25-26, it's a 76. It was 76, 81, 39, and 37. 37 respectively. I don't know what happens today. I'm not able to write. I apologize for it. So the published patents application cluster with it and subject of startup, and there is no such points talking about startup when we don't know what they mean. Startup in India, in China, US, Israel tackle the semiconductor technology, how to refine the rare earth metal elements, metformin cheapers, ecological sensitivity, how to make it. Our government lots of new apps that hog the food products, contrary to thinking the education ministry UGC to instrument to control it. There always have been no justification for this financial control. So when stupidity is considered patriotism, it is unsafe to be intelligence. So where it's a famous quote by Isaac Asimov. Moving to the next is about ecology is the world's permanent economy. So it is a much more than a slogan by Sundarlal Bahuguna that ecology is permanent economy. It's a prosperity extremely linked to ecology. So what is the striking the right balances? It's a very beautiful editorial. Just go through it after clearing your after giving your prelims exam. These all are important for me, and I'm just like even I'm going through in a very detailed way, but I'm just after that I will go through like in a brief way because time is very less and I don't want the videos to getting too longer, because you can go through the editorial from own self. Like everything is clearly I've taken a picture and like make the slides. So just go through the slides and choose the highlighted the important points. I've already highlighted, but if you find something more point, so add in it also. So what is the fundamental truth we need to focus is that ecology is the real economy. Our survival, our security, our progress depend on it. In simple terms, there might be a clearest way. It's a clearest way to find the right balance and define the sustainability to protecting the environment and supporting the economic development. Despite being apart, animal kingdom, human evolution through a course of civilization, reason for ongoing biodiversity science policy platform, biodiversity on IPBS transformative change report. So it's exploit the natural resources for the solely for their basic day-to-day survival ends. And as a human societies expanded, organized themselves, nation, this demand scaled further to cater the needs for entire countries. And other animals live in harmony with their environment, taking only what they need to immediate survival and without disturbing long-term balance of ecosystem they inhabit. New complication is that intensifying cycle of human consumption, global competition has placed climate change and natural phenomena now dangerously amplified by human activities. So we continue to exploit nature to satisfy our needs, greed, and while simultaneously relying on same natural ecosystem, act as a buffer against consequence of such exploitations. So realization is not just timely, it is essential to confronting the ongoing environmental crisis and shaping a sustainable future. It is only through the reframing humanity from the reactive conservation. So the need to reconnect with nature is climate change and changing disturbance pattern. Biological diversity is not new for planet Earth. However, the Earth is also new, occurring the detrimental plants to biological diversity. So moving to the next about the declaration of a result of CBSE declared marginal increases in pass percentage and girls have scored better. CBSE 99 and I think more than 97% students up. So CBSE recorded here the recorded percentage is 93.66, class 12 exam 88.93%. So there is a marginal increase in pass percentages in 2024 87.98 and 12 examination 93.6. And in 2000 like in 70 region of country, Vijayawada topped the chart with pass percent 99.6%. So it's very high. Many students appear, just go through it. Not important, but I added it like for knowing the information that after what is the result of class 10 and 12. That's why. Next is the ADET that spotlights the irrigation problems. Let me just go to that page. So here the Kailash Arjun Nagre, the Young Farmer Award recipient from the Maharashtra, died by suicide on sitting addresses the irrigation demand. The highest water use in agriculture globally, access for water and for the irrigation remain a continuous issue. Nagre's death point toward the inequity distribution. So it's an untenable expansion. Like agriculture sector account 80% of water. You already know it's a 80% water that is accounted in it. And in farm sector, it's the highest in world. Irrigation is an inevitable input. So it's a majority of area under water guzzling crops such as rice, wheat, sugarcane currently in water scarce. The northwest and subtropical belts, 36% global unsustainable irrigation expenses happens between 2000 and 2015. The environmental and financial consequences aggressive. The groundwater extraction also been profound due to over extraction. It is almost 70% of the India's underground assessment, 3.9% of critical states, and it's a 45.36 MMT of annual carbon emission, which constitute 8 to 11% of India's total carbon emission. GHG emission is negative stimuli such as high GHG emission. It contributed to global cropland emission. So over exploitation of groundwater resources, impeding water scarcity, environmental extremities. So way forward is like it's a practices based on sustainable intensification should be prioritized. GHG emission have been highest alternative water management. And irrigation with a minimal application losses may be popularizing crops such as sugarcane, promoting solar powered irrigation. So these are the way which we can just minimize the water in effective way. Less water and more production. drip irrigation method in sugarcane farms, like marginal cost in pumping being zero. This should result in increased groundwater depletion. So how we can also increase the water, underground water, to promote. So it is not necessary to promote equitable distribution of irrigation, but initiating the demand driven allocation system, so that participatory irrigation management structure should be widely promoted. 14th is covering about the right to repair movement in India. So it's under RI Act of the Department of Consumer Affairs. This comes under Department of Consumer Affairs last week, that Framework Reparity Index RI Mobile Electronic has submitted to the government, and consumer appliances, electronic appliances will only assigned to the score depending on its focus is on repairing product. About home appliances industry is full of example like washing machines, air conditioner, which is possible several years ago. So it's a planned obsolescence, selling consumer less durable products. So Nitin Gupta, just go through it about the it's under reparability index. Consumer electronic appliances would be applied on score depending on it. RI framework government indicated to pursue any scoring without any impediment industry. Commitment drafted like framework of dominated membership industry by groups and electronic manufacture. Fifth is the covering the 5th May editorial, where the BSF constables covered 14 slides. So covering the last editorial of the prelims 2025. So after that, in the next video we'll meet with the main specific purposes, covering mainly focuses on more on editorials. So in these after 10 days we will meet with the same platform. So stay connected for further editorials discussions. So let's start with the thought of the day also. No, I know editorial is a little bit long, so we all get exhausted. So stay hydrated, just drink some water. It is at their own level, and we also have to survive in the 4 hours that decide everything. The people that was really are very serious, they know how to use it. So the border security, so let's start with it. The border security forces who was maintained by Pakistan Rangers on April 28 after Pahalgam terror, after inadvertently crossed over international boundary in Punjab, was returned in India. So Ranger who was detained in India along with Rajasthan was also returned Pakistan. The return of Jawan comes after India and Pakistan agreed to the ceasefire of military operation May 10. The constable was detained while he was accompanying the farmer and allowed. Next is that India pushing back Bangladesh without documents. So country thoroughly eastern border over the past month, that migrants detained through across the country. It is important for our own country safety also. Next is that Minister faces FIR over a Colonel Sophia remarks. So it's a Vijay Shah who was she claimed that saying of is a Justice Asul Srivan took a suo cognizance on the matter following the media reports directed the Director General of DGP Kailash BNS, including Section 196, and how he said prima facie, already we know that prima facie state of Minister Colonel Sophia Qureshi is a sister of terrorists who carried out attacks of Pahalgam, encouraged the feeling of separatist activity, and which thereby endangers the sovereignty of integrity of India. Observe the justice. So this is a statement that was, and it was at the, if you are in that position, you can't say anything like without any statement. So it was considered as offense and taking a strict action regarding him. The court term remarked a dangerous, noting such statements now appear to be target the personal armed forces, and now they have started reaching out to armed forces to country for justice, remarked it. And also the Arunachal Pradesh was, is and always will remain part of India. So claiming with the External Affairs Ministry said that creating names by placing China will not alter the ground reality. Arunachal Pradesh is an inalienable part of India, and change of person in Arunachal Pradesh will not considered China has partnered with a vein and dispersal at Proton to names places in the India of state of Arunachal Pradesh. Consistent with the principal position, we reject such attempts categorically. Strict actions should be taken regarding this type of action things. Moving to the next is about the Sikkim celebrate the 50 years of a statehood with a race of what exotic butterflies. There is a butterfly that is a double spotted butterfly found in state, and it's the 50 years of statehood with a race. So these are the exotic butterflies can be asked about. There is a 7086 kilometer square kilometer and high altitude meadows. About 700 species of butterflies found here. Moving to the next is about editorial covering the road to safety. So the crucial juncture where economic growth and urbanization bring both opportunities and challenges and fatalities also. So the traffic deaths rate, UK have a traffic rate about 2.57 and 2.6 respectively. Japan, there is a population of discussing about. So the road estimated crashes cost in India is about 3% of GDP annually. So it's about the right to life. Foundation of all road safety must be in a fundamental constitution principle to essential component of right to life. And constitution, every citizen, whether it's pedestrian, cyclist, driver, has a right to move through the public spaces without fear of injury or death. So it's India's urban landscape poised for significant transformation. So by 2047, urban population expected to count about 50% total population. And this is rapid urbanization will accompanied by substantial rise in vehicles. So there's a proper action should be taken for a person can move freely without any fear of death. Road safety, there is a 4 E's of road safety, that engineering, enforcement, education, emergency care remain cornerstone. So just go through this, it's important. You just cover after the exams. I've already told you, if not have time, this all editorials are very important, so I added it. Indigenous people system is highly effective, says center. So it's about the capability. Chinese and Turkish weapon systems stood out during operations. For instance, indigenous Akash short range. What is it? It is a short range air surface to air missile. And while the China's HQ SAMs deployed the Pakistani flame to effectively precious guided. So it's our surveillance planning and delivery system is very good. The use of a modern indigenous technology from long range drones to guide the mission made this strike highly effective calibrated. So Chinese supplied defense system at 23 minutes, demonstrating India technological edge. So social media said that Rajnath Singh said that India's defense sector is growing stronger than ever, and by spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat, defense export has increased from 686 crore in 24 to 23,622 crore in 24-25. Several countries in Southeast Africa has expressed their interest in Akash and BrahMos that are a very successful missile, has seen the capabilities in the operations Sindoor we have seen. So BrahMos and Akash, surface to air is Akash. So it's a capability, and also the air defense enabling the HQ-15 SAM says system in Lahore. The India's armed force stocked several air defense radar among the other enabling HQ-15. So these all are covered. So moving to the next is about the Operation Sindoor reshaping a confusion. It's confrontations. So India is here the important example of how war fought globally, and highlighting the how technological innovation, strategic calculus, information manipulation have fundamentally reshaped the military confusion. So it's a successful in of how the effective plan, missiles, everything worked in a very good way. So writer expressed the successful of our Operation Sindoor. It is reshaping our confrontations. So India's reported interception of Pakistani attempted drone intrusion reportedly involved 300 to 400 Sonagar drones. It's a Turkish made drones. Sonagar drones had at 36 locations demonstrated the scale of technological evolution. And so approaches had transferred aerial warfare from high stakes, high risk engagement to more calculated. The Sky Striker KG drones that India used. So drones, which drones are used here? Drones used here are the Sky Striker and KG. It's Kamikaze drones. I- India's drones used there. So it's a defense capabilities, gather intelligence about Pakistan air defense system, human risk, precision strike with a minimal human risk and collateral. So it's a good property of any drones and missiles. The proliferation of drone technology in all modern conflicts under it's about drone technologies in all modern conflicts. So the air defense has moved from fixed hardware oriented to defense. India's multi-layered such defense system, Akash, and quick reaction surface to air missile, it's QRSM. So just highlight, just go through this important. These all are important. QRSM and Akash and QRSM. These are surface to air missiles. It's surface to air missiles. Is an example of a new strategic philosophy, layered defenses approaches, and this is a press release by the Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai. The present Director General Military Officer is DGMO. India's Akastri system that digitally merges a radar information, real-time infection decision making. So information has emerged perhaps evident and confusion exposed. Technological dependence has become imperative strategic necessity. India shows that Akash missile system and current work on Project Kusha, a missile project, reflect a larger worldwide trend toward a technological and minimizing foreign dependency, generating economic opportunities through export and defense products. So it is reflecting a larger worldwide trend toward a technological independence. India's strategic defense approach has seen a quantitative transformation. Standoff with the Pakistani shows a sophisticated styles, while leaving some projection space for diplomatic flexibility. There seems to be a visible shift in India's military. And the first is the capacity to respond quickly, provocation. Second is the development of comprehensive and layered defense. Third is that an advanced escalation of control posture that makes without precipitating all-out war. So of note that transformation in joint operation in India armed forces reflected an unprecedented level of the inter-services organization silos. So IAACCS becomes the operational spine synchronizing the action by Indian Force Navy and Indian Air Integration Theoretical. So moving to the next is about how did the India develop a genome edited rice. Here I found the important that how the genome edited rice is used. What name is can be important, can be asked important, although not, but can be used in a mains writer also. So the first India has become the first country to world to develop rice varieties using a genome editing technology. The farmer, after the required clearance after 6 months of large scale seed production, will take during the 3 crop season. So ICR here the development 2 varieties is DRA Dham, is DRA Dham 100. It is also known as Kamla. It's Kamla and DSTI popular high yielding green rice Samba Masuri and Pusa DST1 rice. Is Pusa DST1 rice which was developed from the Moratorium 1000 variety. So what are the peculiarities here, like increasing the biotic its biotic and abiotic stresses, pest attacks, scarcity of water. And ICR said that the second variety, so these are the benefits, what are the benefits, why it is used, what technology used here. Like it's have we used the site directed nuclease and site 1 directed nuclease. Just go through the one time what are the are there GM crops or not. So yeah, it is beautifully presented here, so I added it. So just go through. It is getting longer, so I'm just ending. I want to end in the with giving this tutorial also. 10th is that birth rates in a Delhi and Kerala and TN declining at a twice rate national average report. So average rate here said annual crude birth rate from live birth is 1000 population. So Tamil Nadu, Delhi and Kerala are declining twice the rate, where sample it is a show data from sample registration system SRS statistical report 21 released by registrar. So if the crude birth rate was 19.321, so the rate was 1.2% every year from 2016-21. Data shows the slowest rate in decline of birth rate. The Bihar it's 0.86%, Chhattisgarh 0.98%, Jharkhand 0.98%, Assam 1.05%, Madhya Pradesh. The data is revealed Uttarakhand was only state which raised the birth rates from SRS 21 further relieved the rate for decline was faster than the average. So apart from the other southern state, birth rates are declining faster.
Maharashtra it's 1.57, Gujarat 1. Odisha 1.3, Andhra Pradesh 1.29, Punjab at birth declining almost at a same rate. So registered birth is SRS 21 statistical shows that the slowest declining birth rates are reporting increasing number of registered birth. So it's a vital static report based on CRS. So these all for today. Just giving the summary and ending this session on a sweet note. Front page is covering about the heavy losses inflicted by Pak military, said DGMO. Second is we cover the editorial. First is the caste census right. Second about the manufacturing growth rate, and also the right we must know about the chart where represented the pandemic deaths. Longest banana reflectors found in here. Next editorial covering about the it will not tolerable if there is a terror or anything. Zero tolerance will be followed. Seventh is about the it's covering here about the tariffs also and the restraint policies of slam trolling, about India's e-waste where we have a detailed analysis, and it is very important. Just keep it safe for a future. You can take a screenshot also if you found it important and go through the video also. And in case with the China and germanium export restrictions and standard water standards when don't hold it, the India's research Kashmir stand after Trump pozo. Next is a cover editorial about education employment, about the ecology is a permanent economy, and also cover about the right to repair movement in India. Fifth is about covering the next editorial about the constable release. Sixth is covering about the Rajasthan Pradesh was a remain part, and 21 Naxal operation dislocated and celebrated the statehood with race to exotic butterflies. 17th we covering about road safety editorial and also about the indigenous weapon system. 18th is covering editorial about Operation Sindhu. 19th we cover about the India's developed genome edited rice, and 20 we cover about the chart rate of birth rates in Delhi and Kerala. So thank you for today. Now we'll meet after the prelims exam. Till just do your revision, continuous revision, and now the current affair is covered, so you just stick to the basic part. Just do more and more revision. You already know if you are a serious aspirant, you already know, and if you are beginner also. So these are the only things that every toppers are said, and I am also first time giving this exam, so these are the tips that I know, and I don't know what is going to happen, but only thing in this exam is about the perseverance that you have to keep, the patience, and don't let the failure to tell your worth, because if you have a goal, anything, if you have determination to achieve it, you will it. There is a proverb, no? Where there is a will, there is a way. So that's, and now motivations, now you don't need motivation, because 9 days are a very seriously, it's a very panic, and it's a very anxiety states. Just stay confident, and just stick to the revision. Every topper said to these things, and everyone that cleared this exam, these are their last minute strategy and tips for every UPSC aspirants. So starting from the aspirant to be IS officer, it's a tough journey. You have to go through a lot of up and down. You have to just stay your morale boost, and stay away from the negative things. Just stay faith on yourself, on your exam preparation. You will ace to these exams. So ending this session with this note, so giving your best, don't think about result. If you did your preparation, you will do your best. So all the best. We will meet after the prelims exams. Maybe I will take break of 3 to 4 days. After that I will continue the series of means. So all the best, and also to me from my subscribers, the future officers. So thank you, and stay connected for further the mains tutorial sessions. I will continue after the exams. Till now, keep revising, keep yourself hydrating, and keep your morale boost. Stay focused and stay healthy. Thank you and good night.